Hey Stellar friends, today we are going to be learning how to play Die With A Smile by Bruno Mars and Lady Gaga. Now if you are interested in learning how to play new and somewhat challenging chords, this tutorial is perfect for you. Plus, there is a special guest appearance at the end of today's tutorial, so stick around and let's get into the lesson today. So we've zoomed in for a close-up because we have 13 really cool chords to learn today. So the first thing you need to do, make sure you have tuned your guitar in standard tuning, and you're going to need to put a capo onto the second fret of your guitar in order to play the song in the same key as the original. So the first chord we need is a G major 7 chord. Now the way I like to do this is playing a regular G major, and all we're going to do is take our ring finger and move it back into the second fret. Now it's quite an awkward shape to play, but this is a really handy way to play it in this lesson. The next chord we need is a C major 7 chord, and all we're going to do for that is take our first and second fingers and move them into the second fret on the D string with our first finger, and our third fret on the A string with our second finger. And this is a wonderful way to transition between the G major 7 and the C major 7 chord. This is going to happen quite a lot in the song. The next chord we need is a B minor 7 chord. Now I'm going to teach you a simplified way to play this so that we don't really need to use a bar chord. And the way we're going to do this is we're going to put our first finger into the second fret on the A string. We're going to put our second finger into the second fret on the G string, and our third finger into the second fret on the high E string. And we're going to strum from the A string down. So this is our B minor 7 chord. The next chord we need is an E major chord. We're also going to need an E sus4. And for us to get this chord, we're just going to take our pinky and place it into the second fret on the G string. We can take our first finger off the strings because we don't need it any longer. We're also going to need an A minor 7 chord. So this is like a regular A minor with our ring finger lifted up off the strings. Next up, we have an A minor 7 over D. Sounds complicated, but it's not too bad. All we're going to do is take our ring finger and move it into the second fret on the G string. And we're going to take our pinky and add it into the third fret on the high E string. Again, the A minor 7 chord transitioning to the A minor 7 over D is going to happen a lot in the song. So we want to practice that transition. So our ring finger doesn't get used for either of those chords. So just practice changing back and forth between those two shapes. Next, we need a regular E minor. We're also going to need a G major, which I would recommend playing with 4 fingers, because the next chord we need is a D over F sharp. And for us to play this chord, we're going to keep our pinky and our third fingers squeezing down those 2 strings. And from the G, we're going to take our first finger into the second fret on the E string, the low E string, and our middle finger is going to squeeze down the G string in the second fret. And we can strum all of the strings for this chord. This is the D over F sharp. And again, you're going to want to practice going from the 4-finger G to our D over F sharp, because that is going to happen in the song as well. We're also going to need a D9 sus4 4. Now don't panic. This sounds really complicated as well, but it really isn't. What we're going to want to do is count up 5 frets from the capo. So we have fret 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now when you get to the 5th fret, you're going to want to bar your first finger over those 4 strings from the D string. D, G, B, and E. And this is our D9 sus4. Another way to play this, if you can't get a good sound out of the bar, is to just take all 4 fingers and squeeze down all 4 strings. So this is our D9 sus4. However you would like to play it. And the last 2 chords we need, you are only going to come across them once each in the song, and it's going to be right at the end of the song in the final chorus. And the first chord is a B7 chord. And the final chord is an A7 chord. Now the first section of the song we're going to look at is the verse, and it only consists of 2 chords. We have our G major 7 chord, followed by our C major 7 chord. So spend some time here transitioning back and forth between these 2 chord shapes. Now, of course, the verse is pretty straightforward with just 2 chords. The challenge comes in with the rhythm. So Die With a Smile is written in 6/8 time signature. Now what this means is that we're going to be counting up to 6 for each of the chords. So we're going to count like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It almost gives a waltz-like feel, and so swaying back and forth as you're counting will really help you in being able to internalize that rhythm. So if we can practice just doing 1 down strum on each of those chords and make sure we count up to 6. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. C major 7. 4, 5, 6. Repeat. 2, 4, 5, 6. G major 7. 4, 5, 6. Repeat. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And C major 7. 4, 5, 6. 2, 4, 5, 6. So the next step is to actually add in a strumming pattern. And the strumming pattern we're going to be using here is going to sound like this. Down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. And we can count this. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, and 6, and. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, and 6, and. And notice how we are still counting up to 6. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, and 6, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, and 6, and. Or you can say the downs and ups. Down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. So what we're going to do is play 2 rounds of that strumming pattern on each chord. So we're going to count up to 6 twice on the G major 7, and then we're going to count up to 6 twice on the C major 7. So let's practice the verse together, starting on the G major 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Repeats. Switch. Down, down, up, down, up. Back to G major 7. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, and 6, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, and 6, and switch. 2, and 3, and 4, 5, and 6, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, and 6, and. So really get comfortable with that first. Why don't we try the first verse with some singing so you can hear how it all is going to be working together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. G, I just woke up from the sea. But you and I had to say the G major 7 again. And I don't know what it all, C major 7. But since I survived Iria, and this is going to lead us straight into the pre-chorus of the song. So the chords for the pre-chorus are up on the screen. We are going to have a C major 7 chord, and we're going to play that strumming pattern twice on that C major 7. We're then going to be changing to the G major 7 for 2 rounds of that strumming pattern. So nothing too crazy there. We've done this already in the verse. The next section of the pre-chorus, we're going to change from a G major 7 chord to a B minor 7. Now I want you to notice we have an anchor finger already in place. So our first finger is already where it needs to be. This is if you're playing your G major 7 using fingers 1, 2, and 3. And from here we can go to our B minor 7 chord. So if you might want to practice changing from your G major 7 to our B minor 7. It's a really nice, pretty simple, straightforward chord transition. From here, we're going to be going to an E sus 4. And for this E sus 4, I like to use fingers 2, 3, and 4. And we're going to play this for 1 round of the strumming pattern. So we're only going to count up to 6 once. And from here, we go to an E major chord. And we're just going to play 1 down strum on that E chord because of the little star icon that's been written next to that E. So if we look at that pre-chorus again, starting on the C major 7, with the strumming pattern, it's going to sound like this. We're going to do 2 rounds. Repeat. Switch. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, and 6, and repeat. B minor 7. Repeat. E sus 4, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, and 6, and E for 1 strum. Okay? Again, pause the video here if you're wanting to dive into this a little deeper and get a solid grasp on those chord transitions and the strumming pattern. So if we add some singing here from the C major 7 pre-chorus, here we go, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wherever you go, that's where I follow. Nobody is promised tomorrow, so I'ma love you every night like it's the last night, like it's the last night. So moving on into the next section of the song is the chorus, and this is where things are really going to start spicing up. So let's take it one step at a time. So the chorus predominantly is going to be using just 1 round of the strumming pattern. So that means we're only counting up to 6 once on each of the chords. So the first line of chords we have is an A minor 7. From here, we're going to be transitioning to an A minor 7 over D. Now this is a really great transition spot as well, because all we're going to be doing is taking our middle finger down to the G string, same fret, and we're going to add our pinky into the 3rd fret on the high E. So again, from A minor 7 to our A minor 7 over D, move our 2nd finger down to the G string and add our pinky. From here, we're going to be going to our B minor 7 chord. Now again, we have an anchor finger. Our 2nd finger is where it's supposed to be. And all we need to do is add our 1st and 3rd fingers to create that B minor 7 chord shape. So you might want to practice transitioning from that A minor 7 over D chord, transitioning to the B minor 7, using that 2nd finger as a pivot point. And then from here, we're going to be going to an E minor. And we have our 1st finger in place to make our E minor chord. So there's lots of lovely places throughout this chorus where we have pivot fingers that are going to help us get from one chord to the other. So again, let's go through those chords quite slowly. A minor 7 to A minor 7 over D. Get into position. From here, B minor 7. Keep your middle finger grounded. Pivot. and to E minor. Keep your first finger down. We're going to repeat those chords again in the chorus. A minor 7, which by the way is also going to be a pivot between the E minor, because if we ended on the E minor, we have our middle finger already in place to just add our first finger down for the A minor 7. I just love a pivot finger. It really helps in being able to create those connections between the chords. It's like little bridges that are going to help you ensure that you land the chord on the right strings. So we have A minor 7 over D. We have B minor 7 and E minor. Okay, so those are the first two lines of the chorus. So let's practice that with the strumming pattern. Down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Remember, that's one round, and each chord gets one of those. So starting on the A minor 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Back to A minor 7. A minor 7 over D, B minor 7, and E minor. So pause the video here and just practice working on those first two lines of the chorus before moving on into the second section of the chorus. Right, so the second section of the chorus, the chords are going to be up on the screen. We have an A minor 7 first, to A minor 7 over D. That part you should know by now. We then have 4 chords, and 2 of them are in a bracket and the other 2 are also between a bracket. So this means we're going to have some fast chord changes here. First of all, let's go over those chords. We have G, playing with 4 fingers, remember. Our next chord is the D over F sharp. This is a great transition because we also have our 3rd and 4th fingers already in place. So we have G to D over F sharp. We're going to go to an E minor from here, and our pivot finger will be our first finger, keeping it down and changing to that B minor 7. So let's look at that again, going from the G to D over F sharp, to E minor, and B minor 7. All right, so the way we're going to count those chords in the bracket, we're just going to split that strumming pattern over those chords. So instead of playing a full pattern on one of the chords, we're going to do down, down, up on one chord. And then the second chord will get the other down, down, up, down, up. So for example, G to D over F sharp. And the same applies for the next 2 chords. So let's take it from the beginning of the line, from the A minor 7. It's going to sound like this. G, switch, E minor, B minor 7. And the final line of the chorus, we have A minor 7 for one round of the pattern. And from here, we're going to take our first finger, slide up to the 5th fret relative to the capo, and we're going to do 1 down strum on that D9 sus4. So that last line, before going back to G major 7 for 2 rounds of the pattern. And to C major 7, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, and 6, and repeat. So as I said, the chorus really does bring quite a lot of spice and can be quite a challenge, but it's really fun once you get the hang of it. So let's play through the chorus together and see how we go. So starting on that A minor 7 chord. A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A minor 7. Switch. B minor 7. E minor. Repeat. A minor 7. Switch. 7 and E minor, A minor 7. Quick changes. Back to A minor 7, 1 strum on the D9, and G major 7. C major 7. So let's go ahead and do that again, and I'm going to attempt singing the chorus to help you just hear some context with the words and the chords. Okay, here we go. A 1, 2, 3, 4. If the world was ending, I'd wanna be next to you. If the party was over, our time on earth was through. I'd wanna hold you just for a while. To you. Now in the next section of this lesson, we are going to be doing a full playthrough of the song, and I just want to say a huge thank you to my very special student Leia, who is going to be lending her vocal skills to the playthrough. So come and join us for the playthrough and let's have some fun. Hey Leia, how are you doing?
I'm good.
Are you excited?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, let's get going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I realize
Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. That is a wrap on how to play Die With a Smile on the acoustic guitar. I hope you had lots of fun today in this tutorial. If you did, let me know in the comments below. And I cannot wait to see you in another Stellar Guitarist guitar tutorial. Have a wonderful day. Bye.